Okay, so you have another option as far as getting data from one form into another, and that is the use of overloaded constructors. So that's what we're going to do in this video. And here we have an art gallery. We've got a couple of pictures. Whichever picture the user clicks on will enlarge that image in a second form. So we have form 1 with the pictures. Form 2 is just a blank form. There's nothing there, no picture box or anything. Form 2 is the one that's going to receive the picture and blow it up, so to speak. So we're going to overload Form 2's constructor. So I'm going to go into Form 2. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is create an image reference. We'll call it art pick, and this will represent the picture that will come into this form and be displayed in a larger view. So here's the constructor. This is not something we typed out. It's the default constructor that was generated when we created the form. What I'm going to do is overload this guy. So I'm going to copy him and paste him in, okay? And now I'm going to overload the second version to receive an image, okay? So we'll call it, how about IMG, all right? And very importantly, I'm not going to touch this. This needs to be there, okay? So we're going to say don't touch. A form is kind of a unique object in that you need this initialize component method there. Otherwise, the form is not going to display. So don't wipe that out by accident. Okay, so here, now that the image, this is going to be the image that you'll see when we go to Form 1. We're going to pass the image, whatever the user wants to see, into this constructor. And once it's in the door, we're going to initialize the art pick variable, the reference variable up here to whatever's coming in. Okay. All right, so there's that. And then once it's here, I think I'm going to go into the form load to set things up. We're not done yet. I think what I'll do is I'll create a picture box. We need to display the image, right? So we'll create a picture box. I'll call it pick box. Okay, and that's going to be a new picture box. Okay. And I think I'll set the dimensions, maybe the height and the width. So we'll say pickbox.height, and I'm just going to set it to whatever the image is, because they're different dimensions. One of them is kind of a portrait type of setup, and then the other one is more of a landscape view. Like here's the taller image and then the wider image. So I'll just set the picture box to the dimensions of whatever image we're displaying. So that would be, hang on, our pick dot height. The same thing with the width here. We'll just set the picture box to whatever the width is. Then we don't have to worry about it stretching and being distorted and all that. Okay. Oh, and then very importantly, we have to set the picture box as image. Otherwise, we're not going to see it. And it's going to be set to art pick. Okay, and then I think what we can do, well, very importantly, because we don't typically do this a lot, but what we're doing here is adding a control to the form at runtime. Usually we add our controls at design time. If you're going to do that, you need this line of code. You need to add that control to the form's controls collection. So again, we don't have to do this because we're always adding controls in design time, but when you do it at runtime, you have to take this extra step. Otherwise, you're not going to see that picture box. So I'm going to add this to the controls collection, the picture box to the controls collection. So we'll say this.controls.add, and then it'll be the pick box. Okay, so I think one more thing. This will look nice if I set. I'm just going to set the form itself, the gray form. I'm going to set its height and width to the picture box. So all we're going to see is the picture there. It'll look nice. The user can close it with the close button up on the title bar. So we'll say this dot height equals pick box dot height. I mean, this is totally optional, but this will make it look good. And then we'll do the same for the width here. Okay, so that's it for Form 2. So again, the important thing here is that the image, whichever one the user wants to see, is going to come through this constructor when we pass it from Form 1 to Form 2. So I'm going to go to Form 1, okay, and for example, we'll take these one at a time. I'm going to click on this one. This is Picture Box 1. And so I'm going to say we're going to launch the second form. Say Form 2, I'll just call it F2, equals new Form 2. Okay, so look, this sign is popping up. I've got overloaded constructors. So we're being asked, all right, which one do you want to use? The zero argument constructor, the non-parameterized constructor, or the parameterized constructor, which accepts an image. And I want to use this one that accepts the image. So I have to pass the image, and I don't know, I believe, I know that I didn't name these well, but this is Picture Box 1, and this is Picture Box 2. So when I'm passing the image here, this will be Picture Box 1 dot image, okay? That's what's going to pass that image from Form 1 to Form 2. Via Form 2's constructor, okay? And so I need to do a show here. Make that show. All right, I'm going to do the same for for the Picture Box 2. Okay, except we'll change that to 2. Okay, let me run this. Okay, here we go. See, the image comes in through the constructor. I'll do the same for the second one. Okay. And, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to step through this real quickly so we can see it in action. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. All right, here we are. And we're going to put in a call to that Form 2 constructor. So I'm going to press F11 here. Okay, so here I am in the overloaded constructor. Here's my image coming through the door. I know we don't see it, but it's that image, the taller image that I clicked on from Picture Box 1. So here it is coming through the door, and here's the initializing that reference variable. Okay, and here we are back and showing the picture.